Jay, Donald Trump is the 47th president of the United States. And I want to ask you, what does this mean for America moving forward?
You know, I hope that it means that, and I'm going to be a little bit obtuse with this. I hope that it means that the Republicans and the people, the racist people that follow Donald Trump, because everybody who follows Donald Trump is not racist, but the racist people that follow Donald Trump got what they wanted, and they're happy enough to not burn up the country, do horrible shit to innocent people for no good reason, and things of that nature. Now, I'll bring it in. I think that we're going to have a lot. Our foreign policy is going to look completely different, not just because they're a different person, but we understand how Donald Trump feels about China. I think he's totally against giving money to Israel at the rate that we have, as well as Ukraine. I think with the tariffs and things like that, I think we're gonna have to look at a different business model, and certain people being affected negatively and positively. I think a lot of rich people are going to benefit, or people that's in business that are in that going into that space. It's going to create a lot of opportunities, for people that's in business who understand how to utilize the things that he put in place. I don't think a lot of bad things overall. I think it's not him. I think it's his followership. And we deal with that like with sports. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get a LeBron fan, sometimes these people are just ridiculous, or Cowboys fans. Trump fans falling right into that type of situation. It's like they're cheering for a sports team, not for a politician, And so when you're cheering for your sports team, you say and do some real dumb shit. And I think that's the biggest problem with the Trump presidency, not him. Yes, he's a Republican. He thinks different than Democrats and all that, and that's fine. We're too grown to be worried about that shit. We understand what it is. We know Republicans don't want big government. They don't want, they want more states to deal with their shit on their own. There's a whole lot of things different between Republicans and Democrats, and that's fine. That shit don't matter. It really, overall, shouldn't affect the major situation that bad. It's when he talks, he stirs up a level of rhetoric, and these people are like really willing to act on it. So it's a level of fear there. Shit he talked about with giving the cops free reign. The deportations. Again, you're illegal. I get it. I'm not even up against that. But when you just start grabbing people, kids, and mistreating people and shit like that, we saw in the news and overseas and stuff like that, that's not what America's supposed to be about. I hope that doesn't happen, but we don't know what's going to happen. I just hope. I know damn well he is going to be serious about, taking people out of here. Again, lying about saying that people eating dogs and shit like that. Like that stirs up a whole nother thing. And these people are literally like, whatever he say, they believe. Like, one thing I can say about Kamala Harris and actually black people was calling her the carpet like, oh no, you said this, that was a lie. It didn't matter if it was a lie or not. They just took it. And even J.D. Vance said, sometimes we gotta say stuff to, get things started. Those are the problems. I don't think that it would be like America's gonna go under. If we go under, it's going to be because of us fighting each other over some shit that Trump said. I don't think that him being the president for 4 more years and him doing whatever policies he's doing is going to make the country go under. I don't think Kamala would have did it. But my biggest problem with his situation as a president, I have other personal issues that I don't even have to talk about right now, but just as a president, you might say some shit that make these people act an ass and they feel comfortable with doing it. And that ain't right no matter who it is. I don't think Kamala should be able to do that. No president should do that. Like, he's willing to say whatever he feels like saying and then sort out whatever the fallout is later, and then he doesn't take responsibility for it. These people move off of what he says. And so that's the fear. That's the thing that I don't want to happen. But I don't really think that the country's going to go under. If long as he don't incite no fucking civil war, I think we'd be all right.
Yeah, so when you think about like voter turnout, there was a question about black men, whether or not they would rally behind her and support her. But then on his side, he started talking about Puerto Rico. So you had the Latino community. I even saw a video of Amish people voting for the first time in like some years, but voting for him. So what do you think the differences were there? What do you think?
I just think that people, again, like financially, it says people were doing better under Trump. Now, I think that's true, but you have to actually pay attention to what's going on. And nobody don't want to do that. And then, people will try to say, like, you're lying. You don't really see what a president is. Like, we'll see who Trump is this go around. And it's kind of still fucked up because if it kind of rather him just had a whole 8 years. Because when you come off, when your first 4 years is coming off somebody else's shit. And so Obama had it cracking. And you coming in on an Obama joint, you got to give him some credit for that. But nobody ain't going to give him credit. You know what I'm saying? They're going to say it was all Trump. Now, if Trump would have been able to be the president through the pandemic, not just once it started, and then here comes Joe Biden, I would have loved to see what it really was. Because I think Trump took some good shit from what Obama's presidency left, and he didn't fuck it up. But there's nothing you can do about it when, a global pandemic happens. And we didn't get a chance to see what he would have did in that crisis all the way through. Because it's one thing to try to just deal with it. I mean, you talk about bleaching your arm and and all this other shit. He caught COVID. It was just a lot of dumb shit going on. And if that would have kept on going, who knows? Probably would have looked ugly. We don't know. It didn't happen. But at the end of the day, you can't judge no president off of that. Because you're literally coming off of, what somebody else's presidency is. You can't eradicate everything. That's why he couldn't get rid of Obamacare yet. He wanted to, and in 8 years he probably would have. But he couldn't get rid of it in 4. So you had to rock with that situation. Like, nobody talks about the Daddy Bush's presidency because a lot of that shit was off of Reagan. Everybody was talking about what was going on with Reagan era because Reagan had 8 years and he's coming off. He only had 1 term, so that was really Reagan extended. You know what I'm saying? So truthfully, until you get those other 2 years, them other 4 years, you don't really have a chance. Now he's in position and he got a hell of a win, not just him, but then also with the Republicans around him, so he can get a lot of shit done without any fighting on their side. And so he'll be able to do a lot, and you'll see what he really made of. Because I'm sure, again, he didn't have the whole Senate in the House at the time like he damn near about to have now. So, he couldn't just pass the laws that he wanted to. He couldn't just realistically do all the shit he wanted to do in the 4 years. Realistically, of course, nobody want to hear that. And again, I don't know whether it was going to be good or bad because it didn't happen. But he couldn't actually do and make the greatest economy ever because a lot of shit he wanted to do, he couldn't even really get a chance to get it done. Like I said, he really wanted to get rid of Obamacare. He couldn't do that in 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Because you understand, all you do is running for the next 2 years, and then you running for your next seat. Now he can go balls to the wall because this is it. You know what I'm saying? And we'll really see what it is. But that's how I feel about that. I think that people feel like he is going to, their money was better. But again, yes, he happened to be the president, but it also was prior to a global pandemic. And everybody shit had some problems after 2020. And we had to come up out of that. Joe Biden didn't do a good job. That's just it. Joe Biden didn't do a good job. And they feel like we'll try it with him. I think that's why you seeing the turnout with all these other people. I think a lot of people that look like you and I were doing it from a more ignorant space. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. You did have people talking about getting a fucking stimulus check. I mean, I don't want to brag about Obama's stimulus check because you shouldn't be bragging about stimulus checks, dummies. You know what I'm saying? But no matter who gave it to you, you know what I mean? We should be bragging about having our shit right to where, okay, we'll take it, but we don't need it. And so you ain't, swayed by no dumb shit like that. So a lot of people that look like us, and maybe it's sound bites, maybe that's what they showing, but that was being picked up talking about dumb shit like that. I think Trump is for protecting America more so here than than the Democratic scenario. But again, he's a businessman, and he's not for the business of America. He's for the business of himself and what he thinks. Now he's going to add that to America, but the business of America is going to foreign countries and taking over. And it has been that way forever. So it's beneficial to them for them to give money to Ukraine. And if Ukraine wins the war, or at least be able to fight back Russia, beat them back, we'll have military bases over there, and we'll be doing business in Ukraine. And now that's what the real situation is. And people who in the know understand that, but it's still sucky to have that playing out when we're $35 trillion in the hole and people are hurting, and you just publicly like send another 10 million, send another 5 million, billion, I'm sorry, not million, billions of dollars over there, and people over here starving. They wasn't trying to hear that shit. And it ain't matter what you look like, Spanish, whomever. Spanish people don't give a damn. If they're citizens, they ain't about to get deported. So, hey, let me vote for Trump because I got a good job. I'm doing what I'm doing. I want my shit to be all right. And more importantly, a lot of them Spanish people and the Amish individuals, especially Spanish, they got businesses. And Trump is going to be better for your business. Especially if you already got an existing business. So them taxes that a lot of people don't understand, them tax cuts, that's going to benefit business people. And so they're like, shit, let's go. We just got to be honest with what's going on. Again, a lot of people don't because everybody with their heart and their emotions. But I think we'll be all right.